speaking of Hex, you've got the chart up. This is good because we so rarely pull up the Hex chart here, really. We're at new lows. I mean, we basically have like touched new all-time lows for Hex on Pulse Chain that's just over a year old. So what do you make of that and getting it out of here? Because it's not a great look right now, but you know, if you want it and are going to buy it, which I have been, then
Yeah.
good price. So
Well, no, it's not a great look. You know, it's double bottomed here at this what is it? It's about right around the 4.2 level, 0.042 ish. Again, the more times you test it and see how strong it is, it's run up both times. The last time it touched it, I mean, there were some really nice candles all the way up to 0.007. So, you know, let's see what this one does here. If it keeps testing this level, could break lower. But, you know, when you talk about Hex, there's also always multiple facets to it, right? You have to figure in T-shares, and those T-shares keep getting more expensive. Even though the price is down, T-share price will still go up. And to lock them in now, it's getting harder and harder to do. So.
And it's even crazier right now, like because Hex is so cheap. I didn't even realize this, but even if you are somebody like, let's say, because I know like staking Hex long term is not the fad of this cycle. Not just Hex, but like a lot of the DeFi yield stuff that we had in the last cycle, people are just not doing as much now. Like Phantom was a gigantic thing last cycle and had all kinds of stuff in Spooky Swap and all these yield farms. I don't hear anything about it anymore. Matter of fact, they rebranded and stuff like that too. But for people who may not be as interested in the idea of 15-year stakes and stuff like that, which let's face it, I mean, less people seem to be, but and you know, you have a whole new set of investors now that are into Pulse Chain for Pulse Chain and into PulseX for PulseX and some of the other things that have been built upon it. People should know, though, I mean, there's even pretty great benefit in short-term staking Hex right now, I think. Like, I mean, first off, you can get a big bag for nothing because look at the price. I mean, that's just where it is. If you wanted to do, and I know many people are talking about doing this, but I mean, if you just wanted to play it safe and do short-term, and yes, I understand that, you know, for Hex diehards and stuff like that, they might feel like this is a waste, but I mean, people have different time horizons. People have different investment theses. I don't whatever. So that's just how it goes. But you can get a decent amount of T-shares even staking short term right now. Like first off, you can get a good bag, and even for like if you wanted to do literally even 30 days, you could get a handful or more of T-shares pretty easily, actually. And even that, I mean, if you wanted to time it a little bit more or just be safe, you could, you know, punt it out into the spring or into March or April or something like that. I mean, you're getting a pretty decent amount of T-shares for not a lot of money right now. You know?
No, for sure. And, you know, Silverstone, I do want to address this comment. He claims he put over $5 million into Hex and Pulse, wanting to know if he got scammed.
I don't believe him at all. He's spamming the chat pretty hardcore. But
yeah. If you haven't been buying in at these levels to obviously lower your initial cost, then I don't think you're probably playing it correctly. No, you didn't get scammed. The contract still works just as it should. My friend told me BTC is better.
That's
yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Really
so either way, again, back to the T-share price. You know, when this first started back in 2019, one T-share was 10,000 Hex. Now we are well over 30,000 Hex per T-share. So, you know, in that time, it's tripled. It's 3 times harder to get. So, you know, yes, short term, fine. But if you're willing to work at a job, put your 401k in, those things are in there for what, 30 years usually till you can retire. You'd be kind of, I hate to say you'd be foolish, but why not put a $500 stake out 15 years and lock them up and just see what happens? I mean, it could be life-changing money. Then again, it's only $500. Most people blow that in a month or so just eating out. So I don't know. That's still my take on it. I'm still laddered out 15 years. I will continue to ladder 15 years. Every month I'll put a new one out for 15 years. I'll just continue to keep doing it. So, I haven't lost the faith in it, and until you sell, you really haven't taken a loss. And it's hard to say that maybe the fad is gone, but for me, that's kind of what draws. That's what's drawing me in even more to want to do it, is because less people are. So I know right now, at that time when these things become ready and mature, it's going to be probably pretty high up on there. I could go probably to a shark level, maybe even whale at that point for the amount of T-shares that I have then. Because I know Crispy was saying, I think there's only 39,000 T-shares currently that are staked out in the year. What is it, 2039, which is the 15 years?
15, yeah.
Only 39,000 T-shares total. Right now there's over 200,000 out there, or maybe more. So either way, I think it's worth a punt for a lot of people, if especially if you're younger, and you definitely have a 15-year window that you're not really too worried about. It's in my opinion definitely worth it.
Yeah, $500 a month to eat out. I mean, some of us don't have to pay anything for that Ewok. There's something I was thinking about. If you want to eat out, 500 a night at the Lily Spa, says Dejin Moonboy. Yeah, I mean, hey, it's to each his own. I mean, like, you're never going to have people agree on like 5 hex stakes, doing a staking ladder, short-term hex stakes. We're just not going to have people agree. I mean,
Sure.
I'm with you. Yeah. I mean, if you have the ability to punt on a 15-year one, even if it's less than $500 or something small, yeah, why not? I mean, I don't think there's any harm in that, especially now that we have Pulse Chain. But there's many different ways you can go about it. So whatever makes sense for you. I'm not going to tell anybody what to do. But that's why so many people suggest ladders, because you kind of cover all bases. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I think that's probably good.
Yeah, to each his own. That's just I'm just talking about what I'm doing and what I would recommend to somebody. I'm not saying put all your everything out there and make, like Kareem did and made a dream wallet and everything is 15 years. So nothing's available at the top of this next bull market, or maybe there are other wallets, but that one particular one, it's all 15 years. So
yeah,
I'm not saying that either. I think you wisely play your cycles, but it doesn't hurt to throw something out there a little bit.